keep a running log of my progress of both knowledge and my overall work, I use an account on WordPress, which allow me to blog my work and keep a digital timeline of my progress throughout my project. WordPress was handy as it allowed me to insert not only text but images and videos to further illustrate my work. WordPress is also good as it allowed me to stick to deadlines and ensure I was constantly updating my workloads. I used SurveyMonkey to create a survey on my target audience to gain an insight into what people look for in music genres and music videos. After creating this, I decided my target audience to be 18 to 24 year olds and to focus on the R&B, hip-hop and anti-pop genre. I would also use this same survey information to influence most of my choices to allow myself to gain the most positive feedback out of my project. To create one of my secondary tasks, I use Wix.com to create a working web page with a couple of hyperlink pages. Wix was relatively easy to use, which allowed me to focus more on the quality of my web page. I used a template which fit my genre of web page I had intended to make. However, I did make a few changes to the layout of individual pages. This allowed me to keep a consistent look which was coherent to the rest of my tasks. I was able to upload my website to allow it to be accessed by anyone online. Wix also allowed me to view my web page on a mobile device. I thought this was a good idea to do, as most of my target audience of 18 to 24 year olds would mainly use their mobile phone as their primary access to the internet. When uploading my still images for the album art, I used Adobe Bridge. This allowed me to view and rate my images before transferring them over to Photoshop. I used Adobe Photoshop to create my digipack. This allowed me to create the correct sizing for my album. I used previous experience with Photoshop from both my first year media coursework and my photography A-level. This allowed me to successfully create a professional looking digipack. When starting this side project, I had the intention of creating a montage. To make this a reality, I used a background image of long exposure taken streetlights. I overlaid this with two images of my artist. I flipped one of them to create a mirroring effect. The biggest issue I faced was with creating the text to have the correct layout and sizing in comparison to the size of the images. However, I was able to create a consistent looking digipack when matching the colour schemes. I used freefonts.com when choosing my font, as I had an idea of using the connotation of the word digital when looking for the perfect font. I eventually settled on the font titled Morehouse, as it gave me a feeling of a digital clock and a futuristic connotation font. When filming my music video, I used the Canon 1300D to shoot with. It was easy to use and allowed me to gain the most amount of light when shooting in the nighttime, which I had initially intended to do due to my research into the music videos in this genre. I was also able to pull focus very easily when filming. I also had access to a tripod. When editing my video, I used Final Cut Pro, as I had worked with this software before and found it pretty simple. I added my audio, which I had downloaded previously, and fit this to my video. I was following my animatic, which I had previously created on the same software. Final Cut also allowed me to do what I had previously decided to do, which was to create a split screen effect to show several scenes showing at the same time while having a video playing as a background image. Once my video had been completed, I uploaded it to YouTube, which allowed me to embed the link to both my blog and onto a Facebook page that had been created to gain feedback for my work. Facebook was a good idea as it allowed me to create a community, and it allowed me to filter out the ages I needed to gain feedback from. It also allowed people to react to my work and leave constructive comments on things I did well and perhaps needed to work on.